am I overreacting or am I too
No, the
strong
offense is shitty.
that this offense sucks? I mean, look,
Yeah.
I know we won the game, but that doesn't look like an offense to me that's going to take this team back to the promised land or anywhere close to it. I mean, they struggle with everything except these shot play deep throws that they convert once in a while. Sills, as you pointed out, that makes up for all the negative. Welcome in, everybody, to the JAKIB Postgame Show here on the JAKIB Sports Network. It's Week 10 in the NFL, and the Philadelphia Eagles have taken a win. It's a 10-7 win over the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. I'm joined now by Big Sills. We'll have John McMullen on. There's plenty to talk about, but a win is a win. I understand. Big Sills, coming right to you. What did you make of it? That was a weird game, Big Sills, wasn't it?
Well, Jeff Hafley and Vic Fangio had great nights.
Yes,
the coordinators were brutal. The offenses were brutal. They made one or two more plays than what the Green Bay Packers did in this ball game. But don't talk to me about your offense being back. That was absolutely pathetic. Let's be candid here. The defense is getting better, and they are clearly getting better. By the way, the immediate impact of Jalen Phillips in that game was felt for 4 quarters. He had a spectacular football game for a first guy being there with this football team. I mean, I thought he really had a great impact. But let's be candid here. I mean, the offense, quite frankly, I mean, you had a great game against the New York Giants. That was the worst offensive output. I mean, how many targets did AJ have in the game? 3?
Oh, I think he had 2, and then he had that meatball on 4th down, which was a stupid play call by Nick Sirianni.
Absolutely awful offense on display tonight. But by the way, no disrespect to the Eagles on this, but Jordan Love was worse.
He was. He was terrible too. Well, I tell you what, though, Nick Sirianni gets bailed out. If Jordan Love goes 1 yard deeper on that pass at the end and they can get a kickoff, I mean,
I was like, wow, man.
Why do you go for it? I don't understand. That's just stupid play calling to me. But look, the Eagles got a win. It was a great defensive game, as Big Sills pointed out, but there's plenty of stuff to talk about. All right. There's plenty of problems on this football team. I'm sure we'll have some social media posts from A.J. Brown this week. I don't know if I can blame them. And we'll see a little bit of everything this week. Sills, I'll run through some numbers with you. Jaelan had 183 yards through the air on 15 of 26, 1 touchdown pass. Saquon Barkley, 22 carries for 60 yards. So kind of back to that earlier season form. Jaelan had 5 carries for 27 yards in the game. Smitty, obviously, 4 receptions, 69 yards. He had that big touchdown catch in the game. Probably the biggest offensive play of the game. There, Goddard had 4 catches for 43. Saquon 3 for 41. I said he'd have a
big game, by the way. I thought this would be a Goddard game. I thought he moved the sticks on 3rd down.
He had a couple. He had 4 catches, so he didn't have a huge game, but he had 4 catches. There were some first downs in there for sure.
Before you continue, 2 catches, 13 yards for A.J. Brown. Wow.
Will Shipley had 2 catches for 17 yards. I'm telling you right now. Look, we won the game. I understand, but I'm not going to sit here and act like the first 3 quarters didn't happen. All right? They happened. This offense is not good, man. The defense is the star of this football team again, Big Sills.
By the way, Green Bay is legitimate.
They're a legitimate defense. I think what me and you have talked about on our show for weeks, Jordan Love, I am not buying it. He stinks, dude. He is so overrated.
You won by 3 points. It's not like you guys beat him by 20.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, quite frankly, it was the battle of who was worse or who wouldn't be as worse. That was terrible. I mean, hey, Jeff Hafley and Vic Fangio had spectacular. I enjoyed the game. You know why?
I know you're a defensive guy. You know, you're a defensive guy. So I figured you would like it. We got Johnny Mac. Let's get Johnny Mac in here and see what J Mac's got to say here on this game. Johnny Mac, welcome into the JAKIB Postgame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles win 10-7. It was 0-0 at halftime last time we spoke, J Mac. Just kind of your first thoughts, John, on the game today. 10-7, the Eagles get the win, my friend.
Yeah, ugly game. Obviously, I agree with Sills. Unless you're a defensive player, then it was a tremendous performance. I think certainly from the Eagles side, Jalen Phillips paying dividends right away. Tremendous game. Um, and right that was kind of an I don't know what they were trying to accomplish on that fourth down play, but
Oh my
Eagles
God.
blew it up, and it would have been a penalty even if they didn't blow it up. But really impressed by the Eagles' defensive performance, and the offense did enough. I mentioned at halftime with you, Zander. Jalen Hurts, watch, he'll make a play or two. Even though both quarterbacks weren't playing well, he's got that ability to sort of leave the bad stuff behind, flush it, and make a play or two. I thought that sort of the new dagger to Devontae Smith. He's having a great year. They also had that great out pattern to pick up a big first down. Nick Sirianni, though, what are you doing, dude? I'm all for
Really?
aggression. I'm all for aggression usually. But if you think about that situation, 33 seconds
It
left,
makes sense, John.
4th and 6 at the Green Bay thing. Just send Braden Mann out there to, pooch it 10 yards, whatever. You have no time on the clock. They lost all their receivers by that point. There's no way they're going down the field. Like I said, typically I love aggressive coaches, but that made no sense. No sense.
It did make no sense. Guys, I want to talk a little bit about the offense. We will talk about the defense. Obviously, there was plenty of good there. Jalen Phillips, both of you mentioned it in your opening remarks, how big of an impact he was immediately. But John, I said it to Sills at the open. I can't just unsee those first 3 quarters because we won the game. I understand we won the game. Winning cures all in this world. But that offense has a lot of problems to fix, man. Big Sills, what did you see from Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense today in the win over the Green Bay Packers?
There was just no consistency once again, and they were not able to get the running game going on a consistent basis. I thought that the Green Bay Packers front seven, I thought they won the day. And I also happen to think on the other side, too. I think the Eagles front seven won the day. This was a defensive battle in this ball game. And offensively, once again, they were not able to get any kind of consistency going in the passing game. They threatened the middle a little bit. I thought Goddard's catches, even though they were minimal, I thought that they were really big catches on moving the sticks on third down. But there's just no continuity in that offense right now. That's a good football team. By the way, I will concede and say that that defense is legitimate. Hey, I tell you what, I learned more about the Green Bay Packers than I did about the Philadelphia Eagles. I know the Eagles have a shitty offense. I didn't realize that the Green Bay Packers have that good a defensive football team because, hey, Jeff Hadley had a great game. You hold the Philadelphia Eagles to 10 points, and you pretty much shut them out the entire football game. You're going to go a long way in the playoffs if you play like that. But, we said it. Jordan Love was terrible. I mean, if Hurts was not very good, which he wasn't, but to John's point, he'll make 3 plays in a game to cover the shitty playoff. And Jordan Love was just brutal in that game. I mean, he just was terrible in that game. How many missed throws? And I will say this, they're wide receivers. They dropped a ton of passes in that football game as well. But, man, Jordan Love just could not find the open receivers. I think that, John, what I think Vic did in this game, those post-coverage, snap post coverages that he had, I thought it confused him in this ball game because he just couldn't find the open guy in the secondary.
Well, I don't know how many open guys. I mean, you got to wait for the all 22. But I mean, when they lost Dobbs for a while, I mean, it got to a point where Bo Melton, who they moved from receiver to cornerback, they had to play him at receiver again. He had that big 4th down drop. They were really up against it by the end of the game. Again, health plays at Lane Johnson. A little bit of a scare, able to come back. How tough is that guy? And the same thing, ankle injury for Jenkins. He's ruled out. So many receivers down coming into the game. Then you lose Dobbs on top of it for a long portion of the game. I mean, they were really up against it. But I'm a big believer, and I constantly talk about personalities of games. And this game, the personality was defense. And both defenses played very, very well. I thought the Eagles played better. I just guys all over the place. I start with Phillips because he was new, but Nakobe Dean was really impressive in
He
this
was.
game.
He
Zach
is.
Bond, his usual steady self. Jalen Hunt even showing up with that lesser role. I thought Adoree Jackson played well. I didn't even think he'd play in the game. Jalen Carr with those 2 pass breakups at the line of scrimmage. Nolan Smith showing up late with that little stunt and getting loose to break up what would have been a completion down the field because Love didn't have time to throw the football. I just thought the Eagles' defense was great. I can't say enough about Vic Fangio, considering how much they lost in the offseason. And here we are in week 10, and they look lights out. Yeah, they needed that final piece. They needed that pass rusher. And Phillips can play.
Yeah,
and he changes this whole defense. I really believe that. And they're going to be good down the stretch.
Yeah, they are. Still, as you mentioned, you thought he was going to help Jalen Hunt. That was evident tonight, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. And he also helped Nolan Smith. And
yes, he
to
did.
John's point, I'll tell you something, man. Boy, I mean, they're coming on, man. That's their best performance of the year against a good football team.
All right, can both of you walk me off? Like, am I overreacting, or am I too strong?
The offense is shitty.
That this offense sucks. I mean, look, I know we won the game, but that doesn't look like an offense to me that's going to take this team back to the promised land or anywhere close to it. I mean, they struggle with everything except these shot play deep throws that they convert once in a while. Sills, as you pointed out, that makes up for all the negative. I mean, this offense to me looks so constipated, and Jaelan was certainly off tonight. Didn't have his best game throwing the football, but I don't know. Am I too hard on the offense at this point? It's tough for me to get all worked up or happy about the win. It's a good win, but I'm not going to sit here and act like it was all perfect.
Well, here, put this in perspective, though, Zander. You're talking about the wins that you have compiled, and again, I'm adding some AFC teams into the mix here. You've beaten Kansas City, you've beaten the Rams, you've beaten Tampa Bay, and you have beaten Green Bay now. And then you got Detroit on a Sunday night on a short work week. Dude, it may not look right, but you are piling the right teams up here. I mean, you're making a statement that, listen, I agree. Here's what's happened here. I think everybody is looking at the barometer of the 2024 football team and how dynamic they were on blowing teams away. This team's not blowing anybody away, but you know what's winning is their will to be able to win games like that. I'm with John. I never thought at any moment in that football game that Jordan Love was going to go 90 freaking yards down the field to score a touchdown. I didn't even think he put him in a position to score a field goal. But I'll say this, Andrew, you do that stuff to Matthew Stafford, that game's over. Now, to do it in against Jordan Love, you're going to get the benefit of the doubt. I think that's a good win, man. I mean, you're on the road, Lambeau Field. That's one of the teams you may run into in the playoffs. Hey, man, so it wasn't the sexiest chick on the bar last night, okay? But at the end of the day, man, you know what? You're sitting down drinking drinks here, and you're taking home a winner. How you doing?
John, what do you say about the offense? Is it any concern for you, or are you just more looking at it a win as a win and you move on to next week?
Yeah, I mean, knock them down and move on. This is not a surprise to me. They're going to have these games offensively, and to be able to still be able to win them, I think speaks volumes about the complementary aspect. But yeah, this particular game, as I said, had a personality, and the personality is what it is. I mean, the assumption is, okay, a couple weeks ago, Jalen Hurts has a perfect passer rating in Minnesota. What they score against the Giants, 38 points, whatever it was. That's not going to continue from week to week to week. It's just not. We've seen this team for a long time have success. They're going to have these ups. They're going to have these downs. They're not going to be consistent on offense. That's just part of how they're built, and part of not having that consistent throwing aspect to the offense. And if teams show up and do a good job on the run game, and I think, you look at the box score, and there were some decent runs by Saquon Barkley, but at the end of the day, he's under 3 yards of carry again. So, when that happens, you're going to struggle offensively, and you're not going to be able to build that passing game off the running game. But they still got the big dagger play to Devontae Smith, which pretty much won the game. And they're able to have those 2 or 3 or 4 big plays in the fourth quarter to go win this style of ugly game. And there's something to say about that. I can't look at this game and say, well, I want them to score 40 points. That's the best defensive performance of the year.
40 points?
Dominant.
What do you mean 40 points? They had 0 points through 3 quarters. They put up 10 points in the game. Don't go to the extreme.
I'm talking about Green Bay. You're not giving Green Bay the credit also on being a good unit.
I'm talking about the unrealistic expectations on this offense, which there's no evidence for it. How long have I been saying that?
With that quarterback, you're out of your minds. If people are thinking that they're going to put 40 points up with that offensive style of play, you're not, dude. That's not, you're going to win.
Where did 40 come from? Like, I never said 40.
35.
A little bit more than what we were able to do tonight.
Well, you're getting, whatever number you want to use. Yeah. They're not a high volume offense.
Yeah. How about 13?
Whatever number. 17? I mean, these expectations. Crazy. These expectations on this offense are ludicrous. And when they have a couple big games, then they come right back.
No doubt they have the
and they had a couple.
They have the fool's gold games against like the Giants. An Eagle glazed donut fan goes like this: "Oh, we're back!" And you're like,
"You sound like a glazed donut tonight, my friend. You're the glazed donut tonight. You're the Krispy Kreme."
I'm talking about the defense. I think your offense blows. I think your defense is great tonight.
But that's what I guess I don't understand from a fan perspective. Like, I'm hanging on to this defensive performance. Like, oh man, that was something. And I get it, but
how about this, John? The coaching on the defensive side is definitely being seen here. The talent evaluation on the other side, bro. I asked you guys all this stuff at the beginning of the pregame show. You've got all that so-called talent on that side. What's your excuse now for 13 points or 10 points? Excuse me. What's your excuse? John's been telling people the whole time, you're never going to see consistent, balanced offense in that system because of that quarterback. It's not a rip. You're 7-2. You just have to deal with the ugly person in the room.
I just feel crazy feeling like, you guys are telling me my expectations are too high. They're the highest paid offense in pro football. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. They're the fucking highest paid offense in pro football. John, you can tell me you've never seen the evidence.
And they're
the highest paid offense in pro football.
That's not evidence of successful football.
You're 7-2. That's the evidence.
That's evidence.
Expectation, John. You think Jeffrey Lurie's sitting in that box happy with the way the offense looks?
No, I'm sure he's not. Then he should go get a
different. You stand. How about owner? How about the guy signing the paychecks?
Then go get a quarterback that can throw for 300 yards, but you're going to lose games and you're going to turn the football over. I don't know. Which one do you want? Bro. The money they spend, the organization they have, they can go out and get a high volume thrower if they want it. They could start turning the football over, and they could start going, I don't know, instead of 7-2, 5-4.
Yeah, but you're going to the extremes of like, I never said I want a new quarterback. I never said that they should go and get a new quarterback.
No, but you would need one.
This is what?
You would need one for a high volume offense.
Play that style.
He's not that guy.
You would need.
I've seen Jalen Hurts with my own two eyes.
You have never seen Jalen Hurts on a week-to-week basis.
You would need one to play that style of ball.
You have never seen Jalen Hurts on a week-to-week basis throw the football through the air outside of one season. And since 22, it has gone the other way. And since Barkley has been added to the team, it has been an inconsistent passing game, and it will remain as long as he's on the team. You're not going to get anything else than this. You're just not.
How do you guys think Kevin Patullo did tonight?
I think he did as good as the quarterback did. John,
yeah, I mean,
you call plays. John, you call plays
pretty
to the
consistent
skill
from
set.
week to week.
You call plays to the skill set of your quarterback, not what you want to throw and not what you want to run. I mean,
there were a couple third and longs where they ran draws, and I assume that's going to upset people because it upsets people to no end on social
Why should
media.
it not, John? They have these two receivers that are these great receivers.
Because guess what? If you throw the ball on 3rd and 14 or 3rd and 12, you're going to be more susceptible to getting past rush. They're going to pin their ears back. You're going to be hurried at times. You're going to throw the football. It might be tipped. It might be over the middle of the field if you're trying to always convert these. Again, they're risk averse. I stipulate that. They are risk averse. That's part of their formula to win these games.
Zander, how many more games do you need to see before you are convinced that this will never be a high-powered offense and balanced?
Dude, I've seen with my own two eyes them be a more higher-powered offense than it. Again,
not on a consistent basis. You have
for 350 yards every week and 42 points. That's not what I'm calling for. That they're running halfback draws to Will Shipley on 3rd and 12. They have Devontae Smith and AJ Brown.
I have not seen them since Barkley's been on this team be a consistent, balanced offensive football.
Why are you going to? I'm not talking about being consistent on a 16-game sample size. They called a draw on 3rd and 12 3 times tonight. They have AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Do they not?
Because they're conservative.
I think that was a good use, and the only explanation for that is, hey, just this is the offense, Zander. Don't expect anything else.
It's the quarterback.
What the fuck are we talking about,
it's
guys?
The quarterback. They're being conservative.
They're risk averse, as I said. By the way, they're not the only team that runs draws on 3rd and 12. I mean, it's a common thing to do in the NFL.
Hey, the Ravens should practice that more.
That by no means is some strange play call that they're the only ones in the NFL to do. In fact, it's pretty common because people don't want to turn it over. But from the standpoint of this particular team, they're going to have big games and they're going to have small games offensively. That's the way they've been, and that's the way they will continue. They might go out and score 40 against Detroit. I doubt it, but they might. They have that potential to do it. I'm not saying they don't have the potential to do it. What I'm saying is they're not going to be consistent throwing the football from week to week to week to week. They're not. I've had this discussion with an Eagles executive. They know what they have. They're playing to the strengths of what they have.
Say it, John. John,
I've said it a million times.
No, John, say it.
For this
discussion. Like losers. They play conservative like losers. They are damn lucky that Vic Fangio is the defensive coordinator of this football team. Because if that defense gives up one bad game, we are cooked with this offense.
Nobody likes Vic Fangio more than me, but they were winning consistently before Vic even got here. So, yeah, Vic made it better. Don't get me wrong. But this team was winning consistently before he got here. This is a very good team. Obviously, they find ways to win. It's a very unique team. How many times have I used that word, Zander? They don't do it conventionally. They do it in a style that you're not supposed to be able to do it in. But at some point, if you do it enough, I mean, this is a team that has now won more games than anybody else on the road. And then I talked about that. Again, they beat Matt LaFleur again. They've never lost to the Packers. They've never lost. They're 10-0 against the NFC North with Detroit coming in the Nick Sirianni era. They'll get a chance to go 11-0. They have the best road record in the NFL during the Nick Sirianni era, which strays longer than Vic Fangio. They won 9 of 11 overall on the road. They're 5-0 in the bye, which again, straight off the bye, stretches past the Vic Fangio era.
Hey, John, they've won 21 of 26 regular season football games.
I mean,
in the last 2 years.
Yeah, this fan base is pretty spoiled, man. Pretty freaking spoiled.
You should be pretty spoiled.
Other teams have these.
You've won 21 of.
I appreciate that you want to.
I just ran down the list.
If you think that we should just the greatest assembly of talent that's ever been in Philadelphia in the history of this franchise, and we should just roll over and say, okay, we won 10-7. Why do we need the offense to do anything more? Yeah. That's a stupid mentality.
Roll over.
It's not a mentality. You're not accepting. You're not accepting who the quarterback is. That's the problem.
I'm ready for the AJ. AJ Brown, fire up the tweets, my guy. Come on, baby. Fire up the tweets, AJ.
Hey, you know what? Hey, John. John, they just don't want to accept the fact that the offense is limited. The quarterback is limited.
They think they have Dan Marino who can throw for 300 whenever he wants and rolls out of bed.
Dan Marino. John,
okay, Joe Flacco. Okay, Joe, he'll never be Joe Flacco.
You hate the extremes. And then you go to the extreme. Nobody fucking asked for Dan Marino.
Okay, he'll never be Joe Flacco.
Give me the high. Then you give me a high volume thrower you want. Give me any of them.
Well, why would
wait a minute? He'll never be Joe Flacco.
When they took the deep shot to Devontae Smith, they ended up with a touchdown. Why don't they do that on other 3rd and 12s when they have 2 receivers they pay $65 million for? Why do they pay them then? Why?
Oh, sure. Take a deep shot every time. Take a deep shot every time it's 3rd and 12. That sounds play calling. Take a deep shot. Take a deep shot. The people aren't going to figure that out. The whole point is they were moving the football on that drive. They got the big play to Saquon, which was a little, flare pass, desperation. He breaks the tackle. Then they're in a position where they can take a shot play. They take a shot play and it works. 3rd and 12, you're not in a position of strength at 3rd and 12 to take that shot play.
Okay, good. So just let's just be pussies and just air it out. I mean, John, that is the most loser mentality I've ever heard in my fucking life. I'm sorry. That is
all they do is win. How is it a loser mentality? That
is a loser mentality. 3rd and 12. Yep, just air it up, give it up. Yep. It's one of the most expensive offense in football. Why would we try and go for it?
Why does the financial aspect have anything to do with what happens on the football field? Other than if you want to blame Howie Roseman for misevaluating, if you'd like, feel free. There's no guarantee that you're not pointing to some standard that because the Philadelphia Eagles decided to pay this guy this amount of money that he's the best player or he's this or he's that. They got to do it on the field. They got to perform on the field. They win games. They win games because of the style of football they play. They've looked at what they have. They've decided that this is the way to go about winning games. They've won games in an historic fashion, so it's hard to argue with the fact that they're doing the wrong thing. They've won games at a higher rate than any other point in Philadelphia Eagles football. And, oh, by the way, they've been around since 1933, so it's not a small sample size.
Are the Eagles' offense in the locker room right now saying that was a good output? Okay, good job, everybody.
No, what they're saying in the locker room right now is that was a great win against a good football team.
If you're the defense, absolutely, you're saying that. I mean,
my only point is, I know they're going to have these games. Nobody's saying they're happy with these games. Nobody's saying they're not trying to. They're always trying to have a perfect passer rating like they had against the Vikings. That's the goal. It's unrealistic, but that's the goal. Nobody's saying they're happy with it. I'm just saying I understand they're going to happen. They've happened again and again and again and again, and they're not going to stop. because they have a good game, and they will have a good game. And they will have more good games. But it's not going to – it's
people
not
just can't understand – they don't accept the quarterback's limitations. And that they play call around those limitations. It's what it is.
Pretty much.
So you'll be singing the same tune I am tomorrow on your show, and you're ripping into the offense.
No. I just said, what did you not hear from me? The limitations of the quarterback make it so that you play like that. I'm not sure what you're saying. I'm changing.
Are we not skating on thin ice a little bit where the defense has to do
your margin of error is not there that you had a year ago.
I don't like the margin of error. I don't like it at all. They had a chance to, if Jordan Love has a decent pass and throws that to Christian Watson, throws it where he should throws it to let him run across the field instead of run into Andrew Makuba, they might tie that game. They might win that game.
Yeah, Zander, you know what? You know what your margin was a year ago? You had a historic run game. That margin's gone. There's no room. There's no margins. You're going to play these tight one-score football games the rest of the year out. You're not blowing anybody out. You might blow the Giants out, but you're not blowing anyone out. You don't have that capability on offense to blow anybody out. I know people look at the names on the back of the jerseys and assume that. How many more fucking games do people need to see?
Well, why do you think AJ's pissed off? Why do you think Devontae's pissed off?
Yeah, but you guys are making me feel like I'm fucking insane for thinking the same thing. AJ, the star receiver's going to Twitter with the same
you're
shit.
Just not accepting that they're limited on offense.
You're not. You're expecting consistency.
You're not going to get it.
That's what I'm ripping. I mean,
yeah, you're never going to get it.
You're going to have good games, and you're going to have games like this offensively in the passing game.
As long as that run game remains the way it is right now, you're going to see ball games like tonight every single night you play. When you get a game like you did against the Giants where you're going for like 277, you're going to have fucking games where you completely control from the coin flip. Well, when you don't have a run game and you're getting stuffed on the run, well, you're going to have ball games like that. And Green Bay's defense is better than I thought. They showed up and played too. That's a good unit over there, dude. They can play over there.
Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys dropped 40 on their fucking head. That's what I watched.
Dallas Cowboys have a passing game that is 10 times better than the Philadelphia Eagle passing game. That's a fact.
So what you're telling is to just accept that we're not that good. That's what I should do. Just accept it.
Accept your passing game. I didn't say you're not that good. I said your passing game will never be in the room. But guess what? When you throw that high volume like you do, like Dak does, you're going to have more margin for turnovers. When you throw the ball 50 times a game, you're going to get more opportunity.
Well, that's the number. That's the number. So you're now through 9 games. You're past halfway through the season. The guy's got 16 touchdown passes and 1 interception. He's on a pace to throw 2 interceptions in an NFL season. Like, there's good. There's good to it.
He doesn't throw the ball in the tight window. He doesn't throw the ball to the teeth of defense. He does. That would be an insane stat for a guy like Matthew Stafford. That would be an insane stat for a guy like Jordan Love. That's not Jalen Hurts' game. Okay. And I watched it with my own 2 eyes for 9 games so far this year. That's not that impressive of a statistic. It's good. I get it. It's a part of their. It's a
very impressive statistic because nobody else does it.
Because nobody else plays like that, John.
Exactly.
Right. And no one's 7-2 like that.
So why is the statistic impressive if nobody else plays like that?
Because it's resulting in wins.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it has nothing to do with the offense. I mean, is the offense the reason that we won tonight?
Some of those critical plays that you made on the offensive side of the football, dude, you had to win. If you win 3,
sometimes I feel like we watched completely different games. I mean,
no. You are expecting this. No, Zander. We saw the same game. The problem is we know that offense is limited. You don't.
I know you and John are like, you guys know.
You refused after 9 games. 7 of those games have been inconsistent all season long on offense. Two of them were pretty good against the Minnesota Vikings and against the New York Giants. Other than that, you tell me you think they've played 4 quarters of football any game? I don't think so.
All right, let's go over to the defensive side. I mean, we're clearly at a stalemate here with the offense. Obviously, a tremendous defensive performance. I think these guys are so far ahead of schedule, it's not even funny. And thanks to Vic Fangio and Jalen Phillips, obviously a massive addition to this football team. Big draft. Everybody really. And by the way, Nakobe Dean, John, I don't really care what you say about getting Jihad Campbell on the field. Nakobe Dean needs to be on the football field. That dude is a fucking stud. He is a stud. I would give him a contract extension is what I would do with Nakobe Dean. I mean, that dude is a beast. Sills, what'd you see defensively today?
Yeah, he has totally benefited from having Vic Fangio as his coordinator. Sometimes coordinators, man, they can just turn the switch and they can just really get the best out of football players. And Sean Desai couldn't do it. Not even Jonathan Gannon could, but Vic Fangio has. He's really settling in. And the only problem, again, one more time about Nakobe, as good as his talent is, I don't trust him. He's just not reliable when it comes to his health. And for me to build my defensive football team around a guy I don't trust yet, well, again, we'll have to address that in the offseason. Let's see if he makes it through the season. But he is an outstanding player when it comes to him being able to play the run. I thought he was pretty decent in the pass game. By the way, I thought Campbell had a wobbly game a little bit, but I thought he also made some plays. Now, remember, he's a rookie. So as a rookie, I thought he was sensational. As a guy in the scheme, a couple times he got beat, a couple times he got a penalty called against him, but I thought he's not a liability.
Yeah, that was there was a chance when you started thinking, and they just don't happen in the NFL in the modern era, and actual shutouts where you had a chance and he got called for that. He kind of panicked on it. He didn't need to either.
No, yeah,
he was in good position, but that's a young player. He's gonna he panicked a little bit in space, and it was a penalty, but he was there in coverage.
That's a part of it, though, right? Isn't that a part of it, though, John? Just being a young player and you're trying to compete for a championship, you know what I mean? You don't want those mistakes. I'm not blaming them for it.
Yeah, but I mean, and that's the difficult part. It's like you can't just sign everybody. The difficult part is it isn't just about this year. It's about long term. He's a first round pick. He's going to be here. Jacoby's not going to be here. So, I mean, that factors into it. Now, it's a tough tightrope to balance because you want to win another Super Bowl because the window is open. And yeah, I would trust Nakobe more as well. And he's got tremendous football instincts. He's healthy, which is amazing in its own right to come back from that type of injury. He's very physical despite his lack of size. He brings that energy. And I think having Zach Baum next to you helps both of them, to be honest. But I thought everybody played well today. I think Nakobe played well. I think Phillips was off the charts in his first game. I thought Baum was great. I think even Reed, who's not having a great year, played better. I think Jalix Hunt played better. Cooper got caught for a couple holding calls. Ironically, he might be the one guy who didn't play up to his usual standard. Jihad, I thought, played well, except for the one play. I thought Adoree Jackson played well. Carter played well. Everybody played well. Nolan, everybody. Quinyon, some of the coverage of Quinyon Mitchell was unbelievable. Moro Jomo got interior pressure. This was, you talk about this was good defense versus good defense. And the Eagles' defense was a little bit better. And the Eagles' offense, bad offense versus bad offense. And the Eagles' offense was a little bit better. Really, on both sides of the ball. It was good versus good on defense and bad versus bad on offense. But they were a little bit better on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, the edges showed up tonight. I mean, a couple times I saw Campbell out there on the edge. He got blown up out there a few times out there. But, again, he's still learning a new position. They lined him up out there. But, yeah, as you said, John, Quinyon Mitchell, man, Man, he's really a staple back there. Those two dudes playing back there are just absolutely fantastic. Cooper DeJean and also Quinyon Mitchell. I thought the linebackers, as you said, I thought they scraped exceptionally well. I'll tell you, the two linebackers played really well. I think it's because Carter and Davis played well. I mean, I thought they controlled the middle of that offensive line, and they really couldn't get, I thought he's a tough runner. He's a good runner, John. I mean,
he's an amazing runner. He's been doing that since college.
Really is a really good underrated football player. He's a good player, man.
So he's one of those players that when you tackle him, you feel it. The next day.
Yeah, he's good, man.